Hello YouTube, it's Myzo here, and we are here today to discuss something really interesting, which is, should you save for Ruan May, or maybe you should not? Okay, so to start with, there are a lot of interesting characters coming up. We have Argenti, we have Silver Wolf in like a few days. Those two banners are going to be nuts, especially because of the 4 stars and stuff. But there's many like speculations and everything about who to save for, who to pull, and everything like that. I mean, it's usually like this, but it's like kind of intense right now, especially with the stuff that's coming out of the leaks, with the Ruan May buff, with the Doctor ratio. I think he got nerfed a bit. That's kind of interesting, so I'm just going to share with you how I decide, like how I am deciding who do I want to pull on and who I am skipping. Alright, we are going to go through 3 points that I use to decide if I'm going to pull for a character or if I'm not going to not pull for a character. So, the first one, the most important one, this is really damn important. The rest is just whatever, but this one is really damn important. So the most important part when you decide that you want to pull for a character is that, do you like the character or do you not like the character? Because if you invest in a character, that bit is going to be on your account for the foreseeable future. So you're making a big commitment with your resources, with your time, with everything, literally. So first of all, the thing you look at the character's design, look at how it moves, look at her moves, look at her personality, look at everything, the story, everything about the character, and decide that you like it or not. Do you like the animations? Do you like everything, every aspect of the character? Or if you can ignore all that and you just want an OP character. But at that point, why are you even playing this game? You could just, I don't know, play a game where you only see numbers, you know? At that point, it's kind of pointless to do, you know? I mean, these things can like connect to each other. You like how it looks and it's OP too. But sometimes this doesn't. Sometimes there is a better choice, per se, but it's a casual game, so that's the most important, if you like it or not. Okay, let's go to the second point. The second point I'm going to make is that, are you a veteran or are you a new player in the game? So those two have very different needs in the game. For someone who is new in the game, for example, you're definitely wanna pull on the Silver Wolf banner if you're new in the game and you wanna progress faster into the game. Because if you're new to the game and wait for Ruan May, okay, you have a good support for endgame, basically. Because Ruan May is not going to like open as many opportunities for you as a Silver Wolf does, as an Asta does, as a Hanya does, as a Lynx does, because that Silver Wolf banner is just cracked for a new and for any free-to-play players. For a veteran, for someone who is trying to zero cycle stuff, for someone who is at the end of the game, for someone who doesn't need those things, it's probably better to go for Ruan May. Especially since you probably have Silver Wolf anyways. So my third point has to be about you being a free-to-play or being a whale, or even just a spender. If you have the disposable income to spend on the game and you want OP and you want cute characters, saving is like not even in your mind. You just get the characters that you want because you can, because you have the disposable income. But if you're a student or if you don't have the disposable income or whatever is the case, or if you're challenging yourself and play free to play, or just or you just don't want to like get into this wall gacha thing and get into this wall pay to win thing per se, you have to manage your resources, and you have to manage your resources in a way that benefits you the most. And for that, you have to decide that how you are going to play the game. Are you going to play a game as a casual, or are you going to play the game as someone who try hards? And it goes for, I mean, for Vale, it doesn't matter. For Vale or for someone who spends and can spend on the game, you just get whatever you want and whatever you need. That's out of the question. Talking to whales about should you pull on a character or not is like kind of pointless. Only the most of the if a Veil is not pulling for a character, it's only because they've seen something on Reddit or read some leaks that the character is going to be like really, really bad. And that's why they are not pulling on them. Otherwise, they're going to pull on everything, especially if it's OP. If it's OP, and if they've seen a good Eidolon or a good Constellation in Genshin, you can be sure they're going to go for that. It's just what they do. Or if they're like a crazy ass collectionist, they're just going to max out everything. It a bit of weapon in Genshin, or a light cone here, or whatever it is, but they are going to go for it. That's just 100%. So there's no any point talking to Wales about this, or Wales even watching this video. But for the free to play, you have to decide if you're a casual or you wanna be kind of, I don't know, if this is such a casual game. I'm having a hard time calling anything that can happen in such a pay-to-win game a competition. But let's call it, if you wanna be a competitive player in a gacha game. Oof, that's hard. That's hard. At least we don't have arena like in Shadow, Raid Shadow, whatever Legends, and the other like Epic 7 and things like that. Although I think Epic 7 is pretty free to play friendly as well, but you're still not going to compete. If someone puts in the time and puts in the money, you're just picked. If you're a free to play player, and we're going back to the second point, are you new? If you're new, the next Silver Wolf banner is chef's kiss. It's really damn good. If you're a veteran free to play player, then you can just look at what characters you have. What characters you have, what goes well in your comp. Like, if you have, like, Topaz, maybe you should think about getting Dr. Ratio, because he's a follow-up character. And you have Sway, or I don't know, how do you call the new Destruction follow-up girly? She's going to be interesting, but I think she works from break, so then maybe you need one mate too. So, it's just very difficult to decide sometimes what kind of team comps you want to build up. Ruan is going to be a really, really damn good support. It's going to have your teams break shields much faster, but even if Ruan is going to give you the ability to break shields faster and you benefit from it a lot. But if you get like a Silver Wolf puts any element weakness type on anything, which is just freaking OP, plus the debuffs you get. So for a free-to-play player, I still think, if you don't have Silver Wolf is just higher value than Ruan Mei could ever be, even with the buffs and even anything on it. At least that's what I see right now. Although, with the really, really OP DPSs that are coming into the game, you might not really need those really, really strong supports anymore. Because I feel like a Jingliu, like this girl, or Dunhang, they just bulldoze through everything. So you don't really have that challenging content. But what I've seen so far, the current Memory of Chaos is kind of difficult and it's getting like a higher and higher damage check. So you might going to need a really OP supports and a really OP this and that to complete this. But I feel like MiHoYo usually does these things, at least they did it in Genshin, where you can 3-star almost everything free to play too, as long as you do the right things and build the right characters. But I think for like a free to play player or for like a casual player, it's nice to have the challenge there and to try to like build characters. Because when you are Whale and you can just auto-play the whole Memory of Chaos, you're not even playing the game. It's just a collection. At that point, why don't you just collect Pokemon cards? Why don't you just collect Magic cards? There's no point. And even collecting Magic cards, if you don't play with those cards, what's the point? Just to look at them. I guess someone enjoys that. I don't. So I like to play the games that I play, you know? That's the reason I am playing them, to play them. Not to just look at oh my god, my Jingle is so pretty. Although she's pretty. Oh my god, my Jingle is so strong. Although she's strong as frick. Just to recap. First, the most important one. Do you like the character or do you not? Be it design, art, voice, everything. That's the most important thing. Then you have to look at if you're a new or a veteran player. If you're a new player, you're going to have very different expectations and needs for characters that you want to pull for than for someone who is being in the game longer and who has characters built. Because the character pool and the amount of characters you can put in something and the part of the game that you are in, it's going to dictate what you need or what has the most value for you. And the third part is just coming down to if you're free to play or someone who wills or pays for the game. If you have the disposable income, if you have the money to spend, then you can literally just go for anything you want. If you don't, if you're a free to play player, then you have to consider the other two options that I've just mentioned before. So yeah, that is all. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. See you in the next one. Don't forget to like, keep the conversations going in the comments below, and subscribe. I don't know why I did that.